You are about to head into the north door there. Is there anything you do before you test the door?
Check for traps?
Anything more? I wasn't necessarily leaning in that direction, but yes, that might be a good plan as well.
We're gonna do it. Okay, so I'm assuming that I'm gonna check, like, first of all, one, does the door hinge in or out?
It hinges into the room, out away from you.
Out away from me. Okay, so that means the hinges aren't on this side of the door. It does also mean that if there is like some sort of tripwire across the opening, we would be able to see it.
And
so
you
I'll
do
check
not see any
down
such
the
thing.
seam of the door opposite to the doorknob. I will also check the side of the doorknob. Okay.
And I would like to listen beyond the door the way I did with the other one.
Yeah. Listen beyond the door. I'm gonna check the doorknob itself just for like,
yep,
you know, stuff.
And then, Gail, did you have your hand up?
It's not a good perception.
It's a pretty good perception.
Okay. So, Laura, you do not detect any traps. Let's see.
Do I detect the locked door?
Creetha, it's unlocked. You are able to open it. Creetha, you are a little bit too busy still listening to the sounds of dwarves moving around to really be able to put your focus on what's going on up there to the north. The door opens with just the loudest, most hideous, and then assuming you stop at some point, it just you open it about halfway, and it just makes the most horrendous creak.
Yeah, that may as well happen.
Cool.
Has the noise from the dwarves increased?
So I'm going to make gestures to move everybody through as quickly as possible.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go
and
ahead
then
and accept.
We're going to shut the door.
Yes, I'll go ahead and accept a perception check from anyone who wants to make one as you are doing that. And go ahead and move your little folks up into there. Look at all those dice. Wow. We haven't had a natural one or... Oh, wait, we just did.
Good Swoops.
Swoops MVP. Let's get those in the chat. So Swoops is absolutely certain.
Good.
Yes. And Swoops got a 21 no, that was an Arcana. Oh yeah, Laura got a 21 as well. Awesome.
More MVP. Fuck off.
Okay, now los dos.
So you don't think, as you loudly, force the door back closed, actually, do you loudly force the door back closed?
Yes, I'm going to shut the door.
Yeah. You don't think that you heard anything, but you're now on the other side of the door. You don't think that they noticed with a 21 and a 21. You're pretty sure that this specifically wasn't noticed, but you can't be 100% certain.
I'd like to lock the door.
Awesome. The door does have like a bar. You can lock it down. No problem.
Latched.
So can I do something a little shenanigansy real quick? Before we shut the door, I'm gonna notice that like there's a bolt on it. Right?
Yep.
I'm gonna make a mark in the bottom corner of the door near at the bottom corner on the side that the doorknob is.
Mm-hmm.
Just like a small, like a X or like a little key or something tiny with like a piece of chalk or something that won't like get noticed super obviously. Just basically is if we end up coming back through later on with like dwarfs that we know, the door's locked and we can just be like, the door's locked.
That makes sense to me. Absolutely. So you leave your mark. And now you're in an area without illumination currently. You had that sort of low fire that somehow kept going to see by in the halls because I totally didn't think to ask about lighting. But now that we're in a
Don't we all have dark vision except for the blind chick?
That's the question. So if everyone's still, I just checking in. If everyone still has dark vision except for the blind person, then we are good to go. I just wanted to make sure because we are now in a place with no light source. I know that this party is awesome. Okay, so I have some box text. Box text which will not include any colors. The door opens into a large chamber with a dark pool in the center. Bits of smashed furniture and other debris are scattered about the floor. Hallways lead off to the east and west. A weird moaning fills the area, slowly becoming recognizable as dwarvish curses and some of the nasty ones. The sound rises to angry shouting and grows closer and closer. Then the translucent form of an armored dwarf appears through the wall and attacks.
Ghosts.
Which wall?
I'm about to drop it. Hold on. Where's he at? Oh, it didn't drop it for me. Okay, we're gonna say through the right next to Calder. So through the east wall here. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. And I'm gonna go ahead and make him visible, though translucent. And he, well, let's go ahead and roll initiative really quick.
Hey.
Who you're gonna call? Not us, please.
Oh, just taunting you.
Oof.
Hey, I'm going to take the surprised condition.
Okay. You are welcome
because
to.
I am outside of 30 feet of Calder.
Fair enough. Thank you for checking.
No, you're at 30
No,
feet.
You're at 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. You're at 30. But I mean, I'm not gonna make you take it if you don't want to take it. So good. Has everyone got initiative in?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. I'm on top of Stinky, so he is on my initiative.
Excellent. Okay. Just making sure I remember everything that this stupid ghost can do.
Calder shouldn't have the AC buff bonus anymore.
Oh, good.
It only lasts for 8 hours.
I got
I
that.
don't.
took a long rest.
I don't, according to my sheet. So
I got it.
I saw it on the combat
it was on the
tracker.
combat tracker.
Oh,
Okay, so he pops out. The first thing I need from absolutely everybody is a DC 13 Wisdom save.
Ooh. Oh, fuck.
All right, I see a 12 and a 5.
Crit fail.
I'm gonna have to make it for Meepo.
Hey! Fucking swoops!
Kretha saved. Kretha nat saved.
Yeah, we got a 1 and a 20.
Should I do it for a Stinky as well?
Yes,
Yeah.
please. And I'm doing it for Meepo as well.
Yeah, Stinky's fine too.
Wisdom save.
Swoops is good.
Somebody
Charlotte
who
failed.
has like Stinky
Okay.
has a fair amount of wisdom for a frog.
So who didn't make the 13? I wasn't
Oh, I
quite
failed
looking.
it so hard. 'cause I
Charlotte
crit
and
failed.
Lore. Charlotte
Okay.
and Lore failed.
So I'm gonna say
Oh no,
Charlotte
you did quit fail. Oh no, you won.
and Lore are both frightened
Although-
for the next 1 minute.
Is it
as,
about-
again? Think you made the Ghostbusters reference. This is he comes out and does the librarian ghost face.
I do have to ask.
Is
Yes.
it visual?
Does the ghost say, yeah, is it visual or is it like hearing?
It's
Is it
both.
whoever? Okay, cool. Just
Those
make
of
sure.
those of you who see can see a translucent form of a dwarf, but his voice is just
Does the effect as well. Okay.
caustic. Yes.
All right. Just
And
make sure.
I'm sorry. I just looked at it again. It says that can see it.
Fuck you.
I did have to double check. You are absolutely right. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the frightened condition off of you. Good.
Can you please give me the
looking
surprise condition?
out. I'll also give you. Where is conditions? There it is.
This is why Charlotte doesn't believe in ghosts, because she's never seen one.
One. I'm not.
I want to contrast that. Charlotte does believe in ghosts. She might not have never seen one. She just thinks they're all friendly and cute.
I'm not
Yes,
finding the
they're the
surprise condition
friendly-
mechanically, so it just means that you don't get to do anything on your turn, right?
Yeah, but it means that I skip my first turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, with all that in mind, Calder, you were forewarned by the sickle as before. You turn to your left, you see this ghost just plunge out of the wall. What do you do?
I just. It's doing its horrifying visage thing, right?
Yes, it is. Which I believe you just saved against.
Yes.
Yes, you did.
Like, I'm awkwardly placed. Am I with? If I were to step away from it, like, am I within like attack of opportunity range?
No.
Okay, cool. I don't know. I'll assume I am there, just for the sake of cleanliness. Because my desire would be to get around without entering or exiting a threat range.
Totally.
Oh, sorry. Ignore that.
All right, ignoring.
Can I go here?
I am going to hit the button, though. Yes, you can.
All right. If I can go there, that will be my goal, and I will expend some meta magic. Because I'm going to hit both Kreetha and Stinky with haste.
Sounds good to me.
And that would be my action.
Is hasted a thing that I can put on, or can you put it on?
I can put it on. Just give me
Do
a
that.
moment.
All right, so you twin haste. Awesome. That's your turn. Charlotte, it's your turn. You hear a bloogie bloogie woo coming through the wall, and you're like, wow, that sounds like it might look scary. Maybe.
Yeah. So I mentally ask Swoops to tell me where, angle and distance, and I'm gonna
Swoops
chuck
has not a goddamn clue. This thing is incorporeal. It does not respond. I'm not gonna have it
blind
respond to
sight.
echolocation.
It doesn't respond to blind sight. Fuck, that's good. All right, so Charlotte's gonna call out. It's gonna, mentally ask Swoops. Swoops goes, I have no fucking idea. And Charlotte's gonna go, Charlotte, I need location. Or, Laura, I need location on this thing.
What?
Angle and distance. And I'm going to hold an acid splash until somebody tells me where it is.
Oh, this is going to be amazing. Okay, no problem. So, the ghost
The ghosty goo.
It's a ghost.
is going to. Let's see. I need a DC 13 charisma save from Charlotte.
Okay.
The ghost
Oh, no.
flies towards Charlotte. And we'll see what happens.
Fuck yeah.
So the ghost flies towards Charlotte and passes right through like Stinky and attempts to enter into Charlotte through the eyes and the ears. And it sort of begins
But can't,
to
because eyes don't work.
it begins to sink into her head, and Charlotte, without intending to, screams two phrases. One is a dwarven curse that is not fit for any kind of company, and the second is "I'm not a coward." You say those two things in Dwarvish in a voice that is very much not your own, and then you expel the ghost from your essence, and it will fly directly through the floor.
The hell was that?
It will finish up its motion by passing directly through the floor.
Tinky is like shaking for a moment. It's like,
If it's going straight down, wouldn't Meepo get an attack of opportunity because he does have a magic weapon?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and give him an attack. Let me so it comes this way, yeah. And I will say that it goes through her, and in fact, even better than going through the floor, to make it a little bit less horrifically unfair, it's gonna attempt to flee through that west wall instead of the floor. But Meepo will indeed go ahead and get an attack of opportunity with Shatter Spike. So I'll go ahead and take that attack.
Natural 20.
He's unable to make heads or tails of the situation.
I guess they'd have to swing at me. I was like, as it flew through me, would like Kreetha get one, but it was in me, so I wouldn't want Kreetha to get it.
Yeah, that would be
no clue how to deal with ghosts.
that would be a possibility. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the ghost over here, and we're going to continue with initiative because I'm not quite sure how this is going to go. Swoops. Note, bats are not blind, but at the moment there's no light.
Yeah, and if it can't be seen through the echolocation, then Swoops is not the kind of bat that has... In D&D, bats don't have dark vision. They just have the echolocation.
Exactly.
So
If there
Swoops
was a
doesn't
source
see
of
anything.
light, then Swoops would be able to see it visually and still transmit the location without transmitting the actual visual data.
Yeah, like Swoops saw Meepo move weird and heard Charlotte shout the thing, but has no idea what's going on. So Swoops is going to like land on Charlotte and like, hang on the back of her necklace. It's just like, I don't know, man.
Laura, it's your turn.
Yep, and my turn's done.
Oh, that's right, because you were surprised. Excellent, and still frightened. Kreetha, it's your turn. You just had a ghost fly through Stinky and into one of your companions behind you before being deflected somehow and then escaping through the west wall.
There's ghosts in here. And as Kreetha, I really don't know what to do. Like, Kreetha, this is a new one for Kreetha. Like, she doesn't have any magical things that affect ghosts.
You want to give me a history or an arcana? Either
Sure.
one, whichever is better for you.
Probably history. I don't have any arcana. So yeah.
Hey, real quick.
Oh no, I did not do well.
Real quick.
You know nothing. Yes, Em.
I know nothing.
As a surprise person, I can still talk though. So I will, cause I'm frightened, so I knew where it was.
Yes. And you know where it went.
Charlotte asked for like location, and I will tell her that it went through the floor.
It went through the west wall, yes.
So I'm going
Wherever it
to
went.
hold Kreetha's action because she does not know what to do about ghosts. She shoots things. Like, she shoots things and she does not think a crossbow bolt is
You did just see Meepo take a swing at it. Although, to be fair, you also saw Meepo just whiff around.
Yeah. So what's happening is I'm going to hold her action, and Stinky, who is like, whoa, this cold thing went through him, is going to, how high is the ceiling?
We're going to say it's 20 feet up.
Okay, so he's gonna jump up and stick to the ceiling, and so
that is inside his standing leap. So Stinky,
and I'm probably going to have to do like an athletics check to see if I.
Yes, make an athletics check. I have no idea. Just to hang on.
I have a negative 1 to athletics.
Oh, this is gonna be great. You got this.
I do. If it would have rolled in the thing.
Yeah.
Man, this one's gonna suck. I did a good roll, and now it's gonna suck because I didn't get it in the thing.
You say it into reality. You say it, and thus it occurs. You're gonna take 1d10.
At least it wasn't a negative 1.
You're gonna take 1d10 points of falling damage as he spooks, jumps up to the 20-foot ceiling. You don't take any damage for the first 10 feet that you fall. You take 1d6. Yes, I don't know why I keep saying d10. I take 1d6 or you take 1d6, which is 4 points of
4
damage. I'll go ahead and
points.
actually you can put them in, and you already have 5 temporary HP, like from the crazy dwarf dream that we talked about last time that we didn't mention in our.
That's right.
Yes, there was the dwarf
Our
dream.
recap down.
So you're down to 1 temporary
Stinky
HP.
is up at the top, and I'm at the bottom.
Yes.
I don't know how to relay that on a map that is 2D
No
in
worries.
that direction. We're getting into some Carl Sagan 2D people level of stuff, but yeah.
So Kreetha, you fall and you are prone.
I'm prone.
So now it's your turn. That was, and I was going to go ahead and move. Actually, since Stinky has decided that he is acting independently, I'm going to give him his own initiative going forward from here.
Well, now that he is no longer,
Yes.
she is no longer on top of him, yes.
You would have been able to maintain control if you had stayed on him, but it turns out that gravity has a little bit of a cling, even if he's sticky. So go ahead
if
and.
it's a shock, yes. Like there's a difference between her knowing and her not
Right.
knowing that she has to hold on to the back of Stinky. It's definitely a difficult thing to do sometimes. And she does not know how to deal with this. She was not here for ghosts. She does not deal with ghosts. She has no way of fighting a ghost. It's not going well for her.
You still have you're prone, but you can take half your move to stand up. What's your action for the round?
Oh gosh. My action for the round, aside from yelling in pain, yelping, is that's a good question.
You said you were going to hold your action at the very beginning?
Yeah, I was gonna hold, so I'll stand up.
Okay, you stand up. You're like, what just happened?
Yeah,
let me
pretty
know
much.
if at any point you want me to jump back into the initiative. That's totally fine. Meepo is going to turn to the wall that that this thing just went through, and is going to swing Shatter Spike at the wall.
Oh yeah, hopefully this isn't load bearing.
Good point. So
Good, sturdy dwarven construction.
I'm going to go ahead and, because I'm not sure how to make it think that I rolled a crit, I'm just going to roll damage twice, because Shatter Spike's specific thing is that it automatically rolls critical damage against any item or any inanimate object that it comes into contact with. Yeah. So we're going to just roll the damage twice, and depending on the result, we'll describe what happens. There's 1, there's 2. Okay, so middling damage. I will say that he cuts a massive rent into the wall, that through which, like through the dust, you can see the translucent outline of the ghost, but it's not a large enough opening to squeeze through. So there's a hole in the wall through which you can see where the ghost is at, but you can't actually go through the hole in the wall. And that will be Meepo's turn, because he wants to stay close to the people who he is protecting. Although, actually, no, he's going to move up here and hang with Lore. So we're going to move to Calder.
Okay.
Let's make it visible.
Calder
He said
can
he's
see
not.
the ghost.
He screamed something in Dwarvish.
In Dwarven. And then he was already cursing in Dwarven when he came in. When he attempted to enter into Charlotte's body, she screamed out something in Dwarvish as well. But of course, you need to speak Dwarvish to be able to understand that.
Parse it.
Look at Kreetha and Charlotte. It's like, did either of you understand it?
Responding in 3 seconds, Charlotte says, "It's scared and angry."
Charlotte, I'm gonna give you an insight check. You didn't have a lot of contact, but I'm gonna let you get an insight check because it was in your brain, so it's only fair.
Well, and it's swearing a bunch, and it said it was a coward.
It said
That's
it was
where I got
not a coward.
Not a coward. Okay, never mind. So it's just angry, is what really.
Yeah, give me an insight check. This could end up being.
Ugh, nah.
No,
It's too
you're
shocked by it.
Yeah, you're definitely right. Scared and angry is probably
angry.
the way to go. Calder, you can see this this ghost through the hole or through the slash in the wall.
Calder doesn't want to get into a fight if he doesn't have to. It's no fun to kill the things that are already dead.
Meepo vehemently disagrees.
I mean, it already tried to do something to me, so it's engaged.
I'll give you like 10 more seconds.
All right. Well, such is the case. If I can see it, if I can see it and we're engaged, I'm going to attempt to cast a spell at it.
Okay, you're gonna have to cast it into the onto the combat tracker because obviously you can't see the pog. I can't like open the wall.
All right, then it needs. I'm going to be casting frostbite, so I need a con DC from it.
If you roll onto it on the character or on the combat tracker, you should be able to still target it.
Yeah.
All right, 1 second. I'm just trying to find it. There it is.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Well, it's the thing is that it hasn't like. I see saves, but it hasn't actually attacked anything. I can't see it on the combat tracker.
Yeah, it's right under me.
It's
the Arundel.
Yeah.
I don't see any. I don't see it. I don't know
Weird.
what it is. My system is not showing it to me.
No worries. I'm gonna move the ghost out.
There he is. I can see him now.
Yeah, I went ahead and moved it out to the hallway, so that you can just target it there. But that's
Okay, cool.
it's a little bit further south than that. But you're able to see it. So go ahead and roll that save. It fails its save.
Hey.
Cool. Disadvantage on its next attack, and it's probably resistant to damage.
It turns
magic.
out not being resistant to that damage, and bits and pieces of it like solidify and break off into ether, obviously, not into anything actually real. But yeah, so it's going to get disadvantage on its next attack. Calder, is that it for you, or are you?
That's my action.
Awesome. Up next is Charlotte.
Cool. Charlotte is going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Move over there away from the thing.
Yeah.
And Charlotte as no, that wouldn't really work. Yeah, is going to again say anybody call out where it is from me and hold another acid splash.
Sounds good to me. As you say that, we're going to start by checking to see if it does recharge. So, let's see here. We're going to go ahead, and since he's the closest, Arundel is going to attempt his possession again, but he's going to attempt to possess Meepo.
Oh, damn it!
That sure is a choice that he's
More I
making
can get
there.
Pathos in here.
So he pulled. So
is a choice.
So those of you watching, like Meepo slashes a hole in the wall and then runs up to Lore, and as he does so, the ghost takes a sharp turn, goes through the corner, and again attempts to invade Meepo through his head. Let's see here. He succeeds easily. So, like, he closes his eyes as the ghost comes from behind him, grabs him by the head with ethereal arms, and begins to kind of try to work its way into his head. Meepo closes his eyes for a moment, and when he opens his eyes, they are like white light, and he says a few more words in Dwarven.
Mm-hmm.
He says, I didn't mean to leave them. I had no choice. And then the ghost is expelled. Lore and Meepo both get attacks against it as it attempts to escape through the wall to the north. But Meepo already used his reaction. No, this is a new round, so Meepo has not used his reaction this round.
Yeah.
Yep. He had a turn since then.
Indeed. So he's going to go ahead and take an attack.
He's got Shatter Spike out.
Yes. He hits.
Fuck yeah, Meepo, fuck it up.
Go.
And deals some pretty, again, Shatter Spike glows, and we did have a long rest, right?
Yeah,
Fuck
you
it.
guys did.
Meepo
Let's do some smite. Remind me, smite is radiant damage, right?
Yep.
Yes, Spite is radiant damage. It costs a spell slot to do it.
And for first level, it'd be 2d8, and then an additional d8 because this is an undead.
Undead, yeah. So it would be
Okay.
3d8 with the first level spell.
Not a ton, but that's okay. So he sort of swings blindly, almost by pure instinct. His face does not look angry; it looks confused. Lore, go ahead and take an attack if you haven't yet.
No, I can't because I did not act last round because I was surprised. So
Your surprise ends when your turn ends. You do have your
Yeah,
reaction.
so you have your reactions.
However, you
Okay,
are frightened.
I have no weapons.
Oh, that's fair.
You can
And I
punch
don't
it.
have Warcaster.
You can punch it.
I'm not gonna punch a ghost. I don't have
Okay.
You do not
I
have to
feel
take your.
like lore has the basic concept of if it's a ghost, you can't hit it with your fists
That's
unless
fair.
if you're creepy or something.
Eventually, Echo could.
Echo can hit it as soon as it gets magic damage. It's like
So
fifth
yeah,
level.
so Meepo is able to
Monks are weird.
turn away the ghost, takes a swing at it as it goes, and his sword does part through the sort of ethereal mist that makes up the ghost as it flies through the upper wall there and into another room. Swoops, it's your turn.
Swoops is just chilling on my necklace, taking the dodge action. No, taking the hide action. He's hiding behind Charlotte's collar, hoping no one sees that he's there.
If it comes up, I will have him make a check. Lore, it's your turn. You are still frightened. You
I
can't move
am
toward the thing.
going to cast Armor of Agathis.
Awesome. Remind me what that is while I look it up.
Armor of Agathis gives me 15 temporary hit points and basically, so what Lore does is grabs her water skin and pours out a cup of water in like a circle around herself with some quick words, and that water manifests as armor on top of the armor that she's wearing is frost and like ice spikes and shit. She gets plus 15 temporary hit points, and if anything hits me with like a melee attack, they will immediately take 15 cold damage.
Armor of Agathis is nasty. I love it.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
Alrighty. So our armor of Agathis comes up. What's the armor actually? You mentioned that it was a second set of armor over your existing armor. What does it look like?
So I believe I said that it was like cold, like water frozen spikes
Gotcha.
and shit. If I remember correctly, it was.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I say words and then they're gone. So like.
That's why I was asking. I was making sure that I was getting the description right as well. So you have this ice armor on. What do you do next?
And I end my turn.
Excellent. Up next.
I don't have bonus actions that I can use right now.
Kreetha, you are still you're still standing there, kind of reeling a little bit, but you did see the ghost fly into Meepo or deflect off of Meepo and into that north wall.
Oh yeah, because Kreetha was holding her action, wouldn't she have gotten a shot as it was moving across the hallway?
Yeah, that's what she was going to do. She doesn't have any way. Like, what's she gonna do? Have a crossbow bolt go through the ghost?
Mm-hmm.
She has no magic. Unlike
You just caught some magic crossbow bolts.
Yes, has Kreetha thought about that yet? No.
You are welcome to decide on that. Yes. So it goes flit.
Kreetha will think about that in a minute, but
in a whole minute.
First things first. So the ghost went up towards the north wall.
Yeah.
she's going to haste her way around to the north wall.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to come up to it and he's like, because she understands everything the ghost is saying, right?
Yes.
You know, so she's like, wait, we're not enemy. What's wrong?
Ooh.
I like
Dwarven?
that.
In Dwarven.
In Dwarven?
Yes.
I like that a lot. Okay. Okay. So, on Meepo's turn, he is going to kind of scoot over here to where the ghost went through the wall, but he is less. There's less fury in him now. He still looks confused, and he does not immediately go back to slashing walls in an attempt to get at this ghost. Instead, he takes up kind of a defensive posture, and sort of keeps his sword up at the place where the ghost disappeared through the wall. So he is also gonna hold an action. If the ghost appears in his melee range, he will take a melee attack on it.
It's really hard convincing this ghost we're not enemies after like people have been striking at it, but sure.
Stinky is up on the ceiling currently. What's he up to?
Stinky does not currently see the ghost in range, right? The
Correct.
ghost is not visible.
He knows what room it's in, but he
Yeah.
does not see.
Stinky will jump to the wall.
Mm-hmm.
So across the room, from the ceiling to the wall, so about halfway down.
Yeah.
And hold his action after that because it's not like he can eat, But he's definitely mad at this ghost.
He could try.
It felt wrong.
A bullfrog
You
will eat
see
anything.
him like try and eat the wall. I don't know if you've ever looked at like video of frogs missing their food and like hitting shit, but that's totally what.
It's hilarious for those
It's
of you
the
who don't
funniest
know.
damn
It is
thing,
so
yes.
funny.
Calder.
And I'm sure he actually damages a little bit of the stone of the wall. He's
Yeah.
not a small, like they have teeth.
Calder, it's your turn.
And the ghost is yet to reappear, yes?
It went through the wall to the north of Meepo. If you had to guess, you would say there's probably a room in there that it's in. But that's the last you saw it. It's not currently in visual range, no.
I'm just all my utility spells are like are not great for this situation. I don't like fighting ghosts. And so
Join the club.
he's going to spend his action lighting a torch.
Okay. So he's able to get some light going.
Yeah.
Charlotte, you still can't see it.
No, but I heard Kreethus talk out loud to it, so I'm gonna also attempt that. I'm gonna call out in Dwarven and say, "Who did you abandon? What are you talking about?" In Dwarven.
Makes sense to me.
And hold an action to acid splash if somebody gives me a direction to do it in.
I'm going to override that die roll because I think something interesting for the story could happen here. I'm going to say that Andoril, the ghost, again flies through the wall and again directly through Stinky. And this time into Kreetha. Now, Kreetha, again, he reaches for your head, and as he grasps you by the head, it becomes sort of this energy that infuses you. And the first thing you hear in your head is just the most heartbreaking crying that you've ever heard in your life. And it's a difficult thing for you to parse because it is a dwarven voice that is doing the crying. And you just keep hearing, I didn't mean to leave them. I had to leave them. I didn't mean to leave them, but I'm not a coward, but I had to leave them. At this point, I'm going to offer a quick content warning. because we're dealing with a character who's in the midst of a great deal of grief, and we're going to explore that just a little bit. So, just a quick content warning. You remember the dream that you had, the very unsettling one that you had. You begin to have a similar vision, but you're not in the same frame of reference. You are watching the orcs overcoming Durgadin. You are seeing him from an alternate angle, and you feel that all of your magical spells have been exhausted, and you feel that you are bone weary, and you feel that you have one more spell that would allow you to escape, but you can't get to Durgadin before he falls. And as he falls, as he is buried under the weight of the orcs that are attacking him, you use a spell and you escape the citadel. I am going to now give you an option. You can make a will save to be possessed by this ghost, and if you fail it, then it will happen through the usual way. Or you can make me a what's it called? Where you're convincing him of something. Diplomacy?
Persuasion.
Persuasion, that's the word. God, I don't know why that didn't come to me. You can make a persuasion check instead to serve sort of as a conduit rather than being simply taken over. So will save or persuasion check.
I would probably do the persuasion because she would, at the moment that she would be feeling this, she would probably be trying to process that grief. And I don't know if Kreitha would have ever experienced anything like this at all. So she would not, you know, a lot of people who are, you know, all the rest of them are magic users, you know, except for Meepo, you know, and he's got some magic, and she does have her like ranger magic, but you know, she hasn't been trained with any of the kind of mind training that the rest of them would have.
Em, what were you about to say? Really quick, Em, what were you about to say?
Whatever roll you pick, advantage.
Just wanted to double check that. Okay, keep going.
I did see that. But so yeah, Kreitha would probably just start bursting into tears and trying to talk to this ghost.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Advantage. Persuasion. That's not grabbing it. Thank you.
18, not bad at all. So yes, we'll go ahead and say that what happens is you get hit by this incredible wave of grief, and you take it in, and it becomes a part of you. You remember the grief that you felt watching your team, which you had to abandon, being destroyed by the Roper, and for a moment, your pain and Andoril's pain are the same. You are overwhelmed by the fact that you knew at the time that it happened that there was nothing that you could do to change what was happening. Most of them were already dead. You had a choice to either die yourself or survive. And you chose to survive, and right now that is killing you. Like, legitimately, literally killing you. And as this feeling sort of suffuses you, you see another vision of coming back to the forge after the battle was done, of seeing your friends and your family and your comrades dead at the feet of these orcs, at seeing the cairn that was made of bodies over the man that you considered to be the greatest dwarf in all of history, someone who is almost seen as a saint among dwarf kind. And you collapse to your knees and you weep.
Oh yeah, I'm just crying. She's just gone in many ways.
And after a little bit, and we're going to go ahead and drop out of initiative here unless people start attacking her, but she's not going to do anything other than fall to her knees and cry. Let's go ahead and get a quick reaction from everyone else. Let's start with Charlotte. What's your reaction to this happening?
I think Charlotte, makes her way to Kretha and is softly in Dwarven asking questions like, because I'm guessing Kretha is falling and like doesn't make a whole lot of
I'm
sense.
probably speaking a mix of Goblin and the ancient Dwarvish, the Dwarvish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's just kneeling next
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
to Kretha.
Hold on. She'll be back in a
This is-
second. Gail, your internet is cutting out.
She's just offering what comforts, little soothing gestures that she can in Dwarven while kneeling next to.
What is Calder up to during this time?
Very similar, but can't speak Dwarven, so like Calder is having like a moment, probably having like light flashbacks to his own, because he's ever a selfish creature, is just flashing back to his own pain, and at the fundamental level, he just does not like to see beings in pain. So he wants to like go. So he'll probably walk up to it and like tentatively reach a hand to be like to soothingly like try and comfort this grieving creature.
What is Lore doing?
So, Lore is the next in initiative, right?
I do believe Swoops and then Lore. Yes. Yes,
So
you are next
Lore
in
would
initiative.
probably be the first one to actually act in this situation.
Yeah.
So, couple of questions quickly. One, is the ghost visible?
The ghost is... No, the ghost is currently inhabiting the body of Kretha.
Are Kretha's
Yeah,
eyes
important.
glowing?
Yes,
Probably my
Kretha's
eyes
Kretha's eyes are exuding that sort of transparent mist. It doesn't make its own light, but A, you have dark vision, and B, you could see it in the light of Calder's torch.
Okay.
So yes.
Okay, cool. Because the frightened condition means that I cannot willingly move closer to the source of my fear, assuming that I can see it.
Then you can't
So
move
can
toward
I
it.
see the ghost? Okay, so I can't do anything.
You can go ahead and make... I believe you can make another save, though. Let me double check that. I'm pretty sure you make a save every round until it's broken.
Well, yeah, but if I can't see the ghost...
Well,
Right,
yeah,
like,
you
if I
can't
don't
see the ghost.
necessarily
You
know.
just see.
Oh yeah,
Kretha.
no, I'm willing to end the frightened effect because you're not seeing the thing that made. No, I'm okay ending the frightened effect here.
Okay, so then Laura's immediate action would be to dash over to Kretha and hold her.
Okay. Movement is open, so you can go ahead and do that.
Yeah. So it's a she sees that Kretha is in distress and she cannot physically stop herself from like attempting to provide comfort in this situation.
And Meepo just sort of lets Shatterspike fall to his side. And he still is looking sort of confusedly at the ground. And though he's not weeping or wailing, you definitely see, like those of you who are paying attention can see tears falling down his face as well. As he, remembers the time when he felt he failed. As his thoughts stray back to those days without Calcrix.
Yeah. And I wanted to just a heads up to Kretha. Lore's frosty as hell right now.
Like
cold?
Literally,
like physically
like,
cold?
iced over a little
Right,
bit.
because all that armor is made of ice.
Yeah.
Does Kretha
You're as
realize
cold
that's
as
like?
ice.
Because how much is Kretha aware right now? Because Kretha's basically possessed.
Yeah, Kretha is vaguely aware of the coldness, but not enough to be worried about it.
Yeah.
And we'll go ahead and jump back to you. So yes, the tide of grief kind of hits you in one giant wave crash and then sort of pulls back a little bit. And much like waves on the shore, every now and then there's another just quick twinge of a memory from the vision, and the grief comes crashing back down on you, and then it ebbs away. What do you do?
So I'm I feel this. I'm kind of more in my head than anything.
Yeah.
Right? So and whatever his name is.
You find that you're able to speak though. Like if you're going to speak out
Arundel.
loud, you are physically
Yeah, I would
capable of
be
doing so.
speaking because I'm going to speak to Arundel. And since this is basically Krita, it's going to come out of her mouth regardless.
Yes.
No. That's not failure. We didn't fail. You didn't. And she's trying to speak she's trying to speak in the Dwarvish because she's speaking directly to Arundel. No, sometimes things happen. You cannot stop it. You have to do what you can.
As a note,
she's been saying the whole time.
she is indeed speaking out loud in Dwarvish, like to the room at large, and then her voice changes. And she said, "He was my leader. It is ours to die in combat. And they all died. They all died."
How could you have stopped that? I saw you. He died before you could even get to. What would be your life to sacrifice?
Give me another persuasion check and give me advantage because I'm loving the role play here.
I would think that Charlotte at this point is translating for everyone else in the room.
Yeah, and if anybody tries to say anything to Kretha, as soon as she's done with her check here, 15. Okay, we're gonna roll with that. But before we jump back into that, is anybody outside of this mental conversation going to say anything? She is saying both sides out loud.
Yeah, and she said his name, right?
It's very obvious that his is different because he's got a completely different accent.
Yes.
And yeah, she said his name, right?
She did. She said his name. She said the name Andoril out loud.
Can I? Do I recognize his name from any of the tombs and stuff that we've passed so far?
His name was not on the tomb.
The filled ones.
The name was not on the filled one. No. Give me a history check.
All right.
Oh,
fuck you, yeah,
God.
fuck you. Tell me who this motherfucker is.
Give me that download.
Yes, Andoril was widely known as Durgadin's the Sven to Barnabas. He was the left-hand man and B, the mystic, right? The one who he was a powerful wizard, and his magic helped Durgadin become the smith that he was, because he needed to have magical training as well to be able to fashion the kinds of legendary weapons that he fashioned. And so this was the second half of Durgadin's abilities, of his legacy. And
would I know an epithet to call him by?
I'm sorry?
Would I know an epithet to call him by?
Yes.
Like,
you'll
Arundel
say
skilled.
I don't have one off the top of my head. You can make one up if you want, but yes, he definitely has some sort of dwarvish title, and if you want to come up with something on the fly, you are welcome to do so. You're absolutely able to come up with that.
Cool.
You don't know what happened to him, obviously, because the events of what happened here are known at this point only to you all. But
I'm going to go out on a limb and guess he died.
But he definitely died at some point. Yeah. And how he died, you don't know, obviously. Anybody else have anything else really quick before we drop back into the mental conversation?
I don't know if it was obvious, but I was intending to try to give Kretha the aid action.
Okay, with aid another, I believe if you make a check or a
It gives advantage.
it gives advantage. Awesome. So you have advantage on anything else along those lines. So
right.
we'll say that so the thing about ghosts is that they're not, what's the word, rational about their feelings. You give very good reasons as to why he should not be afraid and he should not be ashamed.
But he's a ghost, and that's most of everything he feels anymore.
And he keeps saying, I'm not a coward. I'm not a coward. I'm not a coward. I'm not a coward. And then you find out how he died.
Oh no, what do I see?
I'm going to fade to black here because it is a red on our list. But we'll say that he died of grief and move on from here.
Oh wow.
Do we in the scene, the characters, hear him speak about it through Kreitha? No. Okay.
No, this happens purely in Kreitha's head. Kreitha, you have a chance to speak.
Kreitha would probably make an inarticulate cry for a moment and then say, No. That's not cowardice. It's not. It's not. And like she just starts repeating that over and over.
Give me another check and give me advantage.
Cool.
Out of curiosity, am I seeing any X's at the moment? No? No? Just checking in.
I'm good where we are.
Okay. Go ahead and roll another persuasion check, and again you get to take advantage. With a second very successful roll, he is able to calm down, and you hear in your head, he should have a true burial.
You mean Durgad? Did I say that right? Cool.
Yes. He should be buried among friends, not among enemies. I couldn't save him.
And where are
I couldn't save him. He was there. He was right there, and I couldn't save him.
I know.
But I could have died alongside him like a dwarf.
Where are you?
I am.
If you can't
here?
die beside him, you can lay beside him.
He begins to point you towards the doorway that is down that right corridor, that east corridor. You can see there's a door to the south there. He begins to kind of
I would probably just get up and walk
tug toward that direction. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, he's tugging me, and I am 100% like.
All of that, by the way, was out loud. Everything that I just said and everything that she just said was out loud.
Oh yeah, and
so hold on. I'm gonna give everyone a chance.
Not 100% sensible right now, but yeah.
So Kreitha, after saying that, gets up and begins to want to walk. I went top to bottom last time. Let's go bottom to top this time. What is Lore up to at this time? Still holding on?
Lore's gonna let her walk.
Okay.
If we decide, like, if we collectively decide to follow, Lore is going to want to stay within range of Kreitha, just in case if certain actions get repeated. But will otherwise offer guidance to Charlotte.
All right. Calder, what are you up to as this happens? You hear both sides of the conversation, and Kreitha stands up.
This is just jumping. This is jumping
I've been
up and
translating.
down.
You're translating. Okay.
This is just jumping down, up and down with both feet on Calder's trauma. So he like has to back away from it, and because it's clearly hitting something, because he like will retreat over to where I have him on the map, and is just back to the group, is just going to be kind of like have his head in his hands and doing his best and failing to stop from crying.
Maybe Meepo would go over to him.
So you make your way, Kreetha.
Well, and then
Go ahead. Oh,
Hold
I'm
on.
sorry, Charlotte. I did not even talk to you. What am I doing? Yes.
yeah, I'm not going to stop Kreetha from moving. I'm going to move with her and keep a hand on her shoulder so that I can stay with her. But I'm not like restricting her movement. And I'm going to be saying out loud in Dwarven, Arundel the Silvermite, I know you, and I know the story of your lord. And I know, even though I am not a dwarf, I know of your customs, and I know of the respects that are paid to your dead. That I might be able to do something for you and your lord.
Give me a persuasion check as well, but you don't get advantage on this one.
Okay.
Unless, hold on, did someone, Kistrel gave a +2, did we use that?
No, we haven't.
No, you get a
used it.
+2 on this.
Okay. Persuasion.
Nope. Oh my god.
Sorry, Kistrel, you tried your
can I-
best, but sometimes...
Can I make a thing here where I did say that I was going to help Charlotte? I don't know if that counts.
I'm good with that. Go ahead and roll it again with a +2.
Okay.
Sure, why not? Sure, why
Okay,
not?
come on.
God.
All right.
17. Okay.
Because he would have gone
Yeah,
back
I'm
into a
on
rage,
board with that,
I feel, or
because
something.
you're both being very supportive, and that is helping this dwarven ghost begin to come to terms, and he pauses, and he looks at Charlotte, and he looks at
Kreetha's face.
and he
Glowing
looks,
eye.
he looks at Laura directly in the eye and says, "Look out for the rug." And then enters the room below.
Down for
Stinky is just traveling along the side of the wall, just crawling, just making these really concerned frog noises. Like,
And
he does
slurp
not know what's
sounds.
going on. He is.
So
This is the first time he addressed anybody
yes,
outside of Kreetha.
outside of attempting to possess several of you, this is the only communication that he's made that wasn't just shouting, uncontrollably.
So real quick
Yes.
here. He said that to Lore, right?
He looked at Charlotte and he looked at Lore and he said, "Watch out for the rug."
Okay. Did he say that in Dwarven?
In common.
He said it in common. Okay, just making sure, because some of us don't understand a damn.
That's 100%
bit.
fair, and I should always be saying in a situation like this. Yes, it was in common.
Okay.
So Kreetha walks in and begins walking along the wall, down towards a bed, and that bed in the corner contains some remains that are skeletonized by this time. So Kreetha, I'm going to give you a little bit of control over how this goes, but you're kind of
Alright.
being possessed.
Yeah.
You walk to the south. There are also like your things. You see your desk. You see your table. You see your rug.
Yeah.
What do you do other than simply walking down and gathering up remains?
I would probably be touching these things, like in not even nostalgia, because like bittersweet nostalgia. You know, these were once upon a time things that me / Arundel, you know, it was part of our daily lives. This was the room that, you know, we lived in. This was our life, and it was destroyed. So, yeah.
you are able.
Kritha hasn't stopped crying, by the way. She's so dehydrated.
You pull open a drawer and sort of look down nostalgically at the beard grooming kit that totally wouldn't work for you, but was the absolute pride of Andoril. And you kind of frown and you click a hidden panel at the back of the door. And you find 2 large coin pouches and a pouch of gems. The coin pouches are heavy, but they're there.
Oh.
They're like coin sacks.
I would probably say out loud, as Kritha, these were yours.
Yes. I was prideful, and the gems looked good in my beard.
Pride it's not the sin that people think it is. It's not wrong to feel that way. And a few would look nice where you lay.
Take them. I have no more use. Again, this is a clearly audible conversation, but now in Dwarf. So if you're translating, you're translating.
Yeah.
So while Kritha's talking to herself and gathering up remains, what is everyone else doing? Let's go top to bottom this time. Charlotte, what are you up to? Actually, first, what's Stinky up to? Let's go top to bottom.
Yeah.
What's Stinky up to?
Stinky had, like I said, he's been, like, now he's kind of gotten down. Like, he hasn't gotten completely on the ground yet. He's, like, above the desk.
So like, Stinky does come into the room?
Yes, but he's along the wall, not the ceiling or the floor.
Okay, so he's along the wall.
Sticking, yeah.
Okay.
Which is really incredible amount of stickiness for even a primal companion of this size. And if he ever gets like wet, that stickiness goes away.
He does have a climb speed, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yes,
technically, it's all good. Let's go with now. So Stinky does go into the room with them. Mm-hmm. What's Charlotte up to in these moments?
Charlotte, with the hand on Kritha's shoulder, follows into the room.
Okay.
But as soon as they get past the door, Charlotte lets go and stays there until somebody else can come, so she can ask quietly aside, apart from just she's continuing to out loud translate what Kritha is saying. Mm-hmm. Say, "Where's the rug?"
Calder, what are you still?
Told them to look out for the rug.
Calder will still be holding the torch and is like rubbing his eyes clear as he will stand in the hallway, but stand both toward the back, both directions, holding the sickle in his other hand so that he knows so he can like feel when the alarm goes off, and but like close enough so that the torchlight can partially illuminate the room.
Fair enough. And what's Laura up to?
Laura's gonna follow into the room and probably be that like, where's the rug with Charlotte, because Laura's also like told me to watch out for the rug. Listen, I'm not that smart, but I do understand some levels of magic stuff. What the fuck is up with this rug? So
you walk in, there is, as hopefully you can see on the map, there is a very large rug that takes up most of the room. Okay. And
very dusty, I'm sure.
Kritha, yes, it's very dusty. Kritha begins gathering up the remains of this dwarf, and I'm gonna pull a DM card here, and Stinky, who has been padding along the wall, tell me, Jen, do frogs sneeze?
Frogs don't necessarily sneeze, but they do have some startle reactions, and really what they don't sneeze, but like if he got dust on him, he'd take one leg and like flop it across his face, and that can cause some really funny things.
I'm gonna say that the amount of dust in this room causes not only causes a sort of violent, semi-violent reaction from Stinky, but also makes it difficult to stick to the wall. And as you are gently gently gathering these remains up, Stinky falls off the wall and lands on the carpet, which immediately rolls up to envelop him.
No!
And that's where we're going to end our session for
Don't kill
today.
the frog. Don't kill the frog.
No, Stinky!
Stinky just accidentally rolls onto it, and it
burrito.
immediately collapses in on him. Yeah, like the worst burrito.
I was gonna say, more so than sneezing or dust, that's probably when the haste wears off.
Oh yeah. And, yes, perfect. And this is, by the way, just as Lore is able to reach a hand out to Charlotte, as Charlotte is about to take that last step onto the edge of the rug, and Lore's like, well, Lore, you put your hand on her shoulder. She's about to take a step onto the rug. You just pull her back, or do you say something?
Well, I was asking you if I could get a quick look over of what this was. I was gonna ask for can I have a check? What the fuck is up with this rug? Question mark. I'm assuming it's an Arcana check. I didn't get one.
Go for it.
Does M know exactly what this is the moment he said rug? Yes.
Yes. Well, now that you would not have been able to know what it was just by looking at it from before. But no, I mean,
it was literally one of three things. There's only three magic rugs.
Yes, this is
No idea.
this is definitely a rug of, I believe it's called a rug of enveloping.
Yes.
Or entanglement, something like that.
It's a rug of hug. It's a rug of mean hug.
It's a hug rug, yes.
Hug.
Absolutely.
It's a mean hug rug.
And that very amusing
That's
scene
the title of this
is going to happen next time.
No, this will be the title of next episode.
The rug of hugging, yes.
A hug rug. Mean hug. It's a mean hug rug.
And with that, friends, we're going to go ahead and move on over into our sort of out-of-character question and answer. We're a little bit later than I would have liked to go, but I also like ending on a good comedic cliffhanger as a frog just bites it and rolls into the magical item.
I feel like our definition of comedic cliffhanger and your definition of comedic cliffhanger are vastly different.
Definitely, I agree.
I mean, I've definitely seen some frogs fall off a wall, so
That's funny. But don't kill the frog. I said it 6 times.
It's not.
He's got a good chunk of health points.
It's unlikely to kill the frog. This is more likely to just be how do we get it out of there without beating the frog?
And he is a primal companion, so
And
Which
by the
means that
way,
you could sit
this
down
is-
for an hour and get a new one out of nowhere.
For
He
an
would
animal
be-
that spends most of its time consuming things, this is an interesting shift in perspective, and we're going to go ahead and move over to the out of character
Feels
spot
like a
so that we can
snake.
start talking about that.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to imagine this entire conversation. There is just a frog wrestling a rug.